Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I am playing the Tier 8 Premium German battleship Tirpitz. This is the second of two replays that I'm featuring with Tirpitz. It is still a new ship to me, but it was brand new here. This is only the second game. The other replay was the first. Um, and it is a super fun ship to play. Now, you may have heard that. It's been power crept, as most things that have been around a long time have been. And this has been around since 2015. So I think, what did I say in the other video? 8.5 years or something since it was released, more or less. And I think it still holds up reasonably well, all things considered. You know, I'm taking a look right now at ShipTool online, and as far as the general rating of the tier 8 premiums in the German line, it comes in fourth, of course, as you might expect. But let's take a look at just some particular things. Let's see. All right, so the Tirpitz, when we just look at all the German battleship premiums, although maybe I should take a minute. Now, this game starts very slowly. We have plenty of time for me to do this. So I'm just going to look at the tier 7 on up. Let's take a look at that. All right, so that's gonna leave us Scharnhorst 43, Tirpitz, Odin, Brandenburg, Anhalt, Pommern, Große Kurfürst, and Mecklenburg. Now, the main battery AP DPM for the Tirpitz is 214,000. Odin is 220, Brandenburg 255. It just keeps going up from there. Scharnhorst 43 is 178, and Scharnhorst is 205. So it's definitely toward the bottom in terms of its AP DPM. And of course, the reason for that is these are 380s, and they're really more effective, at least in my opinion, against cruisers than they are battleships. And you're going to give up some damage as a result. Now, the HE DPM is 81,231. Scharnhorst, it beats both the Scharnhorsts, but it falls short of Odin, Brandenburg, all the rest. Now, we just take a look at just the AP shells, and it's number 7 out of 9. The weight in the shells is 800 kilograms. By comparison, Große Kurfürst has 1,220 kilogram shells. And I'm kind of dumbfounded watching the Scharnhorst. I considered pushing in, but of course he has torpedoes as well. And I'm thinking, is this going to be one of those guys that just started playing 3 days ago and he got this really cool shiny new ship and he's just going to kind of rush into the red team? I don't know, but you're going to see I'm going to throw some torpedoes out here because, hey, it's World of Warships, and you really never do know, right? So just in case, I'm going to go and throw them out there. Now he's firing HE, which, maybe that's a good choice. He's trying to start some fires, of course, and I'm going to get one more AP shot on him. Now, AP shells, I mentioned, out of the 9 higher tier battleships in the German line, in the premium German line, comes in number 7. So not all that effective, but against cruisers and lightly armored battleships, it can be more effective because with the big shells, you get a lot of overpens, and you don't get as many with this caliber, which I think I talked a little bit about in the last video. HE shells, it comes in 7th. Same thing. HE shells, again, 800 kilograms, and they do, not great damage. They have a not great fire chance of 34%. But that 34% is better than Scharnhorst 43, better than Scharnhorst, better than Odin and the Brandenburg and the Anhalt, and the same as Pommern, and better than Mecklenburg. So the only battleship in the premium line for the Germans that has a better fire chance is the Große Kurfürst, which has a 41% fire chance. Now we look at the secondaries. When the secondaries, again, comes in 7th. The secondary DPM is reasonably high with 253, 540, but when you take into account how often they hit, it's lower. You can expect about 51,236 at best, is what I'm reading here. versus Grosso Kurfürst, which is 57.6. So decent. Now, why tell you all of this? Because like most ships, it's going to come down to more than the abilities of the ship, what the person playing the ship is capable of doing. And while I'm certainly no expert at German battleships, I feel reasonably confident. You can see here I'm just trying to avoid torpedoes. I don't have to worry too much about broadsides from the Cleveland, and unfortunately I kind of turned right into this one.
Torpedoes auf Backbord!
And while I thought the red CV was going to drop me, he instead dropped that cruiser and Leander to get close. I applaud his desire to help with the CV for sure, but that's a risky maneuver in a Leander. That thing's made of glass. I did get a direct hit on the sub. I'm hoping he'll poke his head up here. I've got quite a while until he's going to flood out. Or burn out. I just have to hope he doesn't throw torpedoes right at my face. No, Leander flooded him out, so well done, Leander, although I don't expect him to live long, and he didn't. Can I make use of this smoke? Well, it was tempting, but taking a look at what's out there, Dido's out there. There's a potential torpedo threat here, so I don't think I want to push into the smoke. I'm just going to sit here behind the island and see whether or not there are any torpedoes on the way. I was tempted to push out here to get some shots off, but I think playing cautiously here is probably smarter. Now our team is doing great. The only ship we've lost is Leander. And of course that was kind of a trade because he did take out a submarine. Again, second game in the ship, so yes, I'm playing a little cautiously here. In the last game, I got in fairly close, and at the end I was 3v1 essentially, and I didn't really have much of a chance, but there are some torpedoes that I was kind of expecting. Not much damage on Yumahari, and unsatisfying overpen was all I landed. And now I'm just trying to determine which target makes the most sense. Not much luck with Yumahari. He's kind of behind a high island now. Let's try aiming a little higher on the Queen Elizabeth and see what I can do there. 39,061 HP. Yep. Almost 13k there. I'll take it. And here comes Lazo. Now Lazo, I should be able to tear up with these guns. So I'm going to go ahead and push forward. You can see Dido is right there. And he's going to smoke.
Torpedos auf Steuerbord. Torpedos direkt voraus.
I'm going to eat another torpedo. Secondaries can go to work.
Torpedos direkt voraus.
Fortunately, no flooding. And he's in big trouble. Caught him with a torpedo. Legal. Well, I don't want to run into torpedoes from the other side, so I think I'm just going to sit right here for a minute. Secondaries are doing a little bit of work for me, courtesy of the Scharnhorst on my port side, keeping Legal spotted. And I am able to land the Citadel shot on Legal, which I feel really good about. That's kind of what this ship is all about with these guns, is being able to, rather than get overpens every time, land some big shots on cruisers. Now he's burning down. I don't have to worry about him. Well, yeah, he's gone. Amagi finishes him off. Now I know Lazo's still here. I don't want to... At this corner, I've just been kind of avoiding torpedoes as much as possible. So I don't want to get crazy. Red team is down half their team. We've only lost 4 ships. This is World of Warships, and you just never know how things might go. So I'm going to put in a shot on the Yumahari here. Secondaries are going to work, just within range of the secondaries. And let's see what I can do here. Great, no, is it decent? Yeah. And there's a golf torpedo. Okay. And now I can safely get around this corner. I'll be facing off with the Lazo and the Queen Elizabeth, and I can't help thinking, even now, that the CV is on this side. You can see where the Mogami's at on the red team, and he's being chased by Scharnhorst. We've got our I-56 out there. Now, I don't know whether I-56 is on the surface or not, but the CV is paying attention to this side, which makes me think this is where he's at. And Lazo is, well, I may eat another torpedo or two if the CV's on this side in particular, but I got to get out here and see if I can't finish off Lazo. I mean, he's literally sitting broadside. Unfortunately, I'm detected. He's going to start angling, if he's smart, right away. No, he's just kind of sitting there, putting guns on either York or Catalunya or both. And I have to hope I'm not going to get a bunch of overpens here.
Katapultjäger kehrt zum Schiff zurück.
I feel like I did reasonably well as far as aiming, but 6 overpens. Secondaries, well, they're going to work, and we'll just see how this turns out. And yes, the CV is on this side. You can see the Queen Elizabeth is getting out there as far as the range is concerned, and unfortunately he just continues heading that way. Now, I have sunk one ship. Rather than shooting at the Lazo, I opt to shoot at the CV. Secondaries are working on the Lazo. Red team's down to 4 ships. We've still got 6. This game looks pretty firmly in hand at this point. So I'm going to put the speed of this ship to use. You can see it just took out the torpedo racks, and I have to hope that it was before he got torpedoes away. I am able to finish off Lazo. Now I can concentrate on the CV as I make him the target. Now, the only choice I have here, as far as I'm concerned, is to kind of run between these islands. I could get shots off on Queen Elizabeth if I could see him, but instead I'm going to just try and get all my guns on the Seraph and keep him visible. I know I'm going to take damage from his aircraft. I get a fighter in the air. Unfortunately, I think it was a little too late. But, you know, what's a fighter going to do in today's game anyway? That's a decent hit. I do get 2 fires, and I'm just going to have to let him burn. Damage total up just under 150k now, and you can see the Queen Elizabeth continues to run south. Now, they are a kind of, well, they're tripod legs essentially. They've got their CV out here. Across the map on the Delta line, the Mogami was just sunk by our Amagi, and then far to the south is the Queen Elizabeth. And I just have to hope. And you can see I'm all set if I get a flood, but I don't, so I'm going to save that repair. I've got 10 more seconds until I can start doing some healing, but I want to get all the guns on the Seraph. Queen Elizabeth is just at the edge of my range. Really hoping that's going to do it. I'm already starting to bring the ship around. And Queen Elizabeth is at the very, very edge of my range. So, how do I feel about this game? Well, you know, I did have to play very conservatively in the middle like that, but super fun ship to play. You know, if you're looking for a premium, this is one I can really recommend. I feel pretty good. I mean, my results here, the second time I played this ship, were pretty decent. And in fact, I think in the last game that I played in this ship, not bad. You can see I picked up the Confederate, close quarters expert, and a high caliber with 163,000 plus damage. Sank 3 ships, picked up 1 Citadel, 210 secondary hits, landed some depth charges on a submarine. I was able to really kind of put this ship to good use, and even landed a torpedo. Topped the scoreboard with 2563 base XP. Also, kudos to our I-56, Hiseki Edio. Well played. And the red team's Mogami and Yumahari both did well also. Put shells and or secondaries on quite a few different things, which, you know, when you're in the middle in a brawling battleship, that's kind of what you hope for. Main battery, 85,000 damage. You can see I did make use of just AP in this game, although I spread it around a little in the last game. 1 torpedo hit, and the secondaries did 57,000 plus damage. Now add another 7,300 from fires, and you get the total of 163. 705,000 potential damage, so nowhere near what I had in the last game, 500,000 less, in fact, but still very fun. A ship I can highly recommend. Picked up some decent XP on the game. If you have any questions, I'd love to see them, or comments, I'd love to see those. I really appreciate you spending a few minutes with me here. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.